So today we're gonna feature our brands from Ulta, and I'm super excited because Ulta is really bringing it for the Black-owned brands. And as I've shared with you before, we're gonna highlight those stores that are giving shelf space to Black-owned brands, okay? And Ulta is one of the stores that have committed to giving shelf space to Black-owned brands, and in fact, they have a ton of stuff at Ulta that you can find in every price point. And I really like it because it's super accessible, okay? And you can go to Ulta.com if you don't have a local Ulta where you live, but certainly if you have one, I would encourage you to go in and browse. So I'm gonna start with eyes today, and the brand that I'm going to be using for my eyes is Juvia's Place, and this is their Nomad collection. And oh my God, just let's pause and stop and look at the cover of this. It's so beautiful and so inspiring. And here are the shades in here. So, you know, a little bit of pop, a little bit of, you know, zhuzh. Okay, I haven't used this before, so I'm gonna ask for your patience. So we're gonna come in with this shade right here. And I like to use an orange shade on the top part of my eye and into the crease. And I do have hooded eyes, so I like to bring my my color a little bit higher because I do have very hooded eyes. I did go a little bit higher than I wanted to go there. And you just want to build up to the intensity that you like on your eyes. So obviously I want to look somewhat played down because this is a work day for me, but I don't want to not look like I'm wearing eyeshadow either. You just want to, I like to look like I did a little something, okay? So that color is this one right here. Then I'm gonna go in, what should we do? I'm gonna go in with this green shade right here. It's like a pretty olive shade, and I'm just gonna go in with that just on the outer parts of my eye. And I'm using a really tight brush because I just want to be really precise with that. And I'm gonna use that same color in the crease as well, right exactly in the crease, just to bring a little dimension right in that part of the eye. And this is one of the reasons why it's nice to do your eyes ahead, because when you don't put your foundation color on first and you do your eyes, then you can always fix anything that's kind of out of place once you put your foundation on. So I'm just building that up because I want it to be a little bit darker than it is. Have a little bit more presence there just on the outside of my eye and in the crease. I don't know if any of you have tried this brand as yet. They have the cutest palettes. I don't even know why I haven't tried it. I think the problem is I haven't really been shopping that much at Ulta. But now that I realize Ulta is really coming for the Black-owned brands, you know, I'm really gonna have to pay more attention to Ulta because they really are doing the do in terms of shelf space. And when you go on their website, they really do a nice job of featuring the Black-owned brands. So you can find a whole truckload at Ulta. And Juvia's Place has beautiful eyeshadow palettes. I know I've heard there's some kind of controversy with Juvia's Place, but I'm here for it. So the next color we're gonna go in, I'm gonna go in with a little bit, this yellow right here, just on the front part of my eye, just to give a little bit of a pop. And there's a lot of color pop right there. Oh. I'm gonna blend that in a minute because that's a little bit high for me for work. Oh, but I love it though. And you can just blending it in really well. Oh, that looks so pretty. Goes so beautifully into the green. And you gotta spend your time to do your blending. That's really super important. Ooh, that just gives a nice little pop to the front. And then what I'm gonna do, maybe go in, I can't do that yellow. I'm gonna go back over this with that green just to bring a little bit more blending in the middle of the eye. Let's make it blend a little bit more. I just love that yellow. I've not used that yellow on my eye before, and I'm here for it. Just in the corner of my eye, for a little bit of brightening, going with this shade right here. Just to create a little bit of brightness, and I might have overdone it. And then I'm gonna go back in again under my eye. I'm gonna go in under my eye with this shade right here. And don't worry about that over sparkles right there, because I'm gonna clean that up. And then I'm gonna go back in with the green just on the end. Just so that it looks like both the bottom and the bottom of the eye and the top of the eye come together. I think I'm gonna go in with this darker shade green just to give a little bit more dimension to the edge of my eye. Because, yeah, oh, that's exactly what I needed. That's exactly what this needed. And I'm just gonna bring that, I'm gonna bring that over into the crease, and I'll clean up the rest of that later. But I really like how this looks. And I'm gonna bring that darker green just on the edge also, just to bring the two together. And just to create a little bit of dimension under your eye as well. You don't wanna neglect your under eye. That really made that inner corner pop out. Boop. Okay, so that is Juvia's palette. I love it. I just love the packaging. I'm a big fan of that, okay? So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna leave my eyebrows for last because sometimes I get powder in my eyebrows. So what we're gonna go on to do is complexion. And the products that I'm using today, I'm gonna be using Mented. And I am so excited because Target does have some Mented products. They have the lipsticks, but Ulta is carrying the entire line. And if you have not tried Mented, I'm definitely here for Mented. So Mented has a full product line. They have complexion products, they have eyeshadows, they have lipsticks, they have lip gloss. This is a beautiful brand and you should check it out. They really try to make sure that they cover the gamut in terms of skin colors. So you can definitely find something. And what I like about Mented also is when you go on their website, they will match your preferred brand or the brand that you're accustomed to using with a Mented color, so you can kind of sense what your color shade should be, and they were spot on. So I looked at, they have NARS on there and they have Fenty, and I use Fenty products, so I was able to match my skin and I'm very happy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my complexion and I'm gonna do my under eyes with Mented. But before I do that, I want to do a little color correcting under my eyes. Okay, so we're going to be doing Mented, and you're wondering what all this is. So I basically did a little bit of color correcting under my eyes because I do have some dark circles. And you know, of course, everybody got a little darkness in the mustache, okay? So I use Urban Decay's color corrector. It's a little bit peachy, just to cancel out the darkness in my face. So what I'm gonna be doing is using Mented's foundation sticks. And what I really like about foundation sticks is that they're super portable. So when we are able to travel again, all you're gonna do is just throw these two into your bag and you're good to go with, you know, maybe your favorite palette, your primer and setting powder and some blush, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna be going in with both. For the foundation sticks, I'm gonna be using them to do my under eyes for brightening, and I'm gonna use it as my regular foundation. And like I said, what I like about this foundation and this brand is they help you out with the color match. So if you're not certain what your shade will be, when you go on their website, you can, if you're using NARS or Fenty, you can definitely find your shade based on your NARS or Fenty shade. And they were spot on with the color that I chose for my face based on the Fenty brand that I use, the Fenty shade that I use. So I'm gonna be using M20 for my face as my base, and I'm gonna be using T30, which is Tan 30, for my under eyes. And I don't go super bright because, you know, I don't wanna look too much, but I do have to be on camera for work all day, so I like to, you know, just do a little something to make yourself look, okay? So this is super nice, look at this. You're just gonna put it in the areas that you need, and then you're gonna blend it in. And I do like to blend with my hands, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna use a blending brush for this. But like I said, I really like this foundation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take my blending brush and blend in. And I'm not gonna get up under my eyes because I'm gonna use the same foundation for my eyes. So what I'm doing is just the perimeter of my face, and where I'm gonna use that lighter shade, I'm gonna leave those parts out and just focus on those when I do my under eyes. And this is full coverage foundation. So I know it looks a little bit bright, but you can see the coverage is really good. And I try to match to my neck because my neck is a different shade of my face, and I do, you know, you're showing your neck and your chest, so I try to match my foundation color to that. And then you can always correct if it's a little bit brighter and you're worried about that, you can always correct that shade with bronzer, okay? So not to concern yourself there, but you can see this. And I use a matte primer with this because this is a little bit, it's very moisturizing. So if you have dry skin, you probably won't need to do that, but I have oily skin. So I used actually I just used Smashbox primer, the original Smashbox primer, and I really like it because it really does help camouflage your pores and stuff. And I definitely got pores because you can't get to my age and don't have pores. Women, if you're like getting ready to hit 50, or you're like, you know, you're in your 40s or after that, and you're not struggling with pores, you are super fortunate. So this is Tan 30, excuse me, for the under eyes, and you can see it's a little bit brighter than the shade that I use for my my base. Just do a little bit on your nose. Not trying to contour too, you know, not really trying to go all out with the contour, but you want to bring a little brightness to the center of your face. And my nose is my biggest part of my face. I'm just showing that my nose and my eyeballs, okay? So you can see really nice coverage there. Okay, so I've gotten the lighter color, that Tan 30, in the center of my face, down my nose and on my chin. So what I'm gonna do is just come with my beauty blender for this and just blend it out. And as I said, this is full coverage. So you can see how nicely that covered all the areas that I corrected and in the center of my face, but it's not too bright. And you can see how I took care of that little bit of fallout that I had from that eyeshadow I put in the corner of my eye. And it's super blendable, you can see that. And then what I'm gonna do is come back in with my foundation brush and just blend. I'm not gonna add any additional product, but just blend out the edges so that everything fits so nicely together. Really nice coverage. So I'm coming in with my Beauty Bakery, which is another Black-owned brand. You can find this both at Ulta and Target. And I'm just gonna set my under eye. I just wanna put a little bit on that same damp beauty blender and just come in and set. This color is Plantain, and it just follows through with the brightening that you're trying to create for the center of your face. And I'm not gonna put it everywhere. I'm just gonna put it on those areas of my face that I wanna carry through the brightness. So just in the center of my face, down my nose, and I'm blending it in. We are not baking at our age, okay? Unless, if you don't have any lines, then you can bake. But if you got lines, we're not baking, okay? We just want to set the makeup, make sure that it stays in place, and that's that. I'm gonna come in with my Patrick Star. His Patrick Star is not black, okay? I know this, but he's a man of color, and he has his own line, one size, and he has his own setting powder. So I'm gonna just go in on the remainder of my face, on the outside of my face, with his setting powder, just to make sure that everything stays in place, because I do have oily skin, and you want to try to preserve, if you have oily skin, you want to try to preserve your makeup as much as possible, and one of the ways that you do that is setting powder. So if you're not invested in setting powder, it's really nice to have in your bag. Keeps everything in place. And not every foundation requires this, and not everybody requires it. If your skin is not oily, you might be able to get away with not setting your face. I cannot do that. So what we're gonna do is come in now with the cheeks. I'm gonna do a little bit of dimension with my bronzer. I am using Fenty bronzer. It is not available at Ulta. You have to go to Sephora for Fenty, but I'm supporting my black owned brands all day, every day, especially in February, okay? So this is Fenty's bronzer in chocolate. And sometimes I overdo it a little bit on my forehead. I don't have a big forehead, but I do have, obviously, because my hair is back, you want to put a little bit of bronzer in your hairline, just where your the sun would normally hit your face, and to also bring back the shape into your face and dimension, because if your foundation is really good, you're going to take it out with that. And I did completely powder my face already, but that is by design so that the foundation can set. This is a creamy bronzer, so I could have done this before I put my powder. I just chose not to, okay? Okay, so then now what I'm gonna do is go in. So now what I'm gonna do is go in with the cheeks. And I'm gonna be using Mented on my cheeks. I love Mented cheek products. The one that I have been faithfully using is Clay Too Much. And you can see it's a beautiful red-ish, like a brick color, just to give some color. And you want to put it on the high points of your cheek. You know, it just raises your face, makes your face look higher, okay? We don't want any drooping. We strolling into this 50 looking high, okay? So on the apples of your cheek, and then just blending out to bring a little bit of color to the center of your face. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with another Mented blush. This one is Peach for the Stars, and I like it because it has a little bit of shimmer, and I don't wear highlight on my cheek, so I like this one because it has a little bit of shimmer, just to put right in front, just to give a little hello, see that? Just to give it a little brightness and a little to the cheek, okay? So that is Peach for the Stars. For somebody who's lighter skinned than me, that's really gonna show up. Because I'm a darker skinned person, it's not gonna show up as much on me. So I like it because I can blend it with Clay Too Much and just have a little bit of a more iridescent look, which is what I like, because I am afraid of highlighter. For some reason, it always accentuates my pores. But by doing it this way, it just gives you a little bit of iridescence without the highlighting of your pores. So we're gonna do eyebrows, and I'm gonna be using Lip Bar's eyebrow pencil. Lip Bar is available at Target, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Lip Bar in another video, but because I wanna support, I'm gonna use Lip Bar for the eyebrows. And I really like this pencil because it has a slanted tip, so it just makes it easy to apply. And I'm just doing the base of my eyebrow because I do have decent eyebrows, okay? But I just like to do the base of my eyebrows to make everything look neat. And then just come back with the top, just to make everything look neat. And then if you have any messiness, you can go back over this. Some people do their eyebrows first so that they can clean it up. I don't, because I do use, Benefit has this really great pencil that I like, and it has like a shade to correct. So I'm gonna do that off camera. This pen is nice, this lip bar pen, because it also has a brow gel. I'm not necessarily a fan of this particular shade because it's a little bit browner that I like, and I don't like my eyebrows to look ashy, but it's not bad. So last but not least, and I'm not wearing lashes today. I'm just gonna use mascara, and the mascara I use is Pat McGrath's Fetish mascara in black. It's gorgeous. You could see how much depth that gives my mascara. And if you're like me, like, mascara is an absolute must. So, all right, so last but not least, I'm gonna go in on the lips, and what I'm gonna use is Mented's lip pencil. This color, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's Foxy Lip. So I'm gonna go in with the Mented lip pencil to line, and then I'm gonna use one of Mented's lipsticks called Nude La La, because I really want to let the focus be on my eyes, since I do have a little bit more of a smoky eye today. So and I like this lip liner because it's really smooth. And I am overlining a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I love their lip liners. And then this shade is Fussy, and it is a nude. So this is the completed face. And I'm really happy with how it looks. Just looks fresh and easy, and not too much, but you definitely saw that I did a little something. So for the brands that I featured today, I just want to remind you, they are Mented Cosmetics, and you can get Mented entire line at your local Ulta or on Ulta.com. I'm super excited that Ulta has partnered with Mented to carry it in the Ulta stores. And you can get Mented lipsticks in your Target. Let's push Target to carry more Mented products. And then for the eyes, I used Juvia's Place palette in Nomad. Gorgeous. And they have lots of different palettes there. They're super inexpensive. Mented foundation sticks are $30 each. And the eyeshadow palette, this palette was $20 for 9 shades. And they have little tiny mini palettes for $10, so you really can't lose by trying out this brand. And I just would really encourage you to take a look at those two. Take a look at your local Target, see what they have to offer, and definitely be an ally for sure of these brands. So thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on my next installment. Take care.